Your face tells a story. And if you can use your expressions in an effective way, you can engage your audience, connect with your audience, and impact your audience as well. But if you use it in an ineffective way, you can disengage your audience, you can turn your audience off, and you can have zero impact in your presentation. Now, my name's Kyle Murtagh. I help people speak with more confidence and impact. And today, I'm going to walk you through the 5 most common facial expression mistakes that I see in presentations. Do stay to the end of the video because it's very likely that you're making at least one of these common mistakes right now. The first mistake is having a blank face. This is when your face shows no emotion at all and you look like you would rather get hit by a bus. We've all seen presentations with speakers like that, and it doesn't make us as audience members feel very good. It doesn't engage us. It doesn't make us want to hear more because it seems like the speaker doesn't even want to be there. You have to understand, when your face is emotionless, you don't give the audience any chance to connect with you. Because as human beings, we connect on emotions. So try to show some emotion on your face. If you're talking about something fun in the presentation, maybe smile. If it's something serious, you can have a sterner look. But have some form of emotion on your face so that we have a chance to connect with you. And that leads me nicely into the second biggest mistake. Expressions not matching your words. Imagine this scenario. You're in a doctor's office, he sits you down in your chair, and he says, "Look, I've got some really bad news today. You've got gonorrhea." Now, if that happened to you, you might wonder if that doctor needed a doctor, because he would seem completely crazy. He would seem off the wall. He would seem ridiculous. And that's because his expressions didn't match the content of his words. For example, if you're talking about something very serious and important, don't be smiling through it like Barney the dinosaur. Likewise, if you're talking about how your partner is always there for you, how you like them, how they're the best thing that ever happened to you, don't look like you want to strangle them. Your expressions need to match your words. Otherwise, there's a disconnect for the audience, which will make them back away from you instead of wanting to connect with you. The third mistake is being overly expressive. Now, this is an interesting one because everyone has a different style of speaking. Some people are a lot more reserved and you barely even get a smile out of them. And then other people, like me, are very expressive, very animated all the time. And if you are an expressive person, you have to be careful not to overdo it. So what does that look like? Well, if you're telling a story about how in school bullies stole your lunch money, don't do this. "And they took all my money and I couldn't get a jam sandwich. It was terrible." No one wants to listen to that. So make sure that you don't overdo it. It's fine to show deep emotions, to show your pain, but if you go too far, if you make it a drama show, which I've done in the past myself, I will admit, you turn off your audience. You lose your audience, and they, again, move away from your presentation instead of being drawn into it. Number 4 is making sure you don't force the emotion. We all know that smiling is a good idea in public speaking because when you smile at the audience, they'll smile back, unless they're psychopaths. But here's the thing, if you're smiling like this all the way through your presentation, even when you don't necessarily feel happy or joyful in that moment, it can seem really fake. And that fakeness makes the audience feel really uneasy. They begin to wonder, okay, if his expressions are fake, what else is fake about his presentation? And that leads to them not taking action on your words, not taking in your information, and saying to their friends, avoid that guy. So the best way to avoid forcing expressions is to make sure that you feel the expressions that you're doing. For example, if you're going to smile, make sure that there's an internal feeling of joy or fun while you are speaking, because then that smile is going to come through a lot more naturally. And if you are going to talk about something emotional, make sure that you're almost reliving that emotional event in your head, so then those natural emotions come through in your face. All right, the fifth and final mistake people make with their face is staying in one emotion. This is when a speaker only has one form of expression on their face throughout their entire presentation. It's just like your voice. If your voice is monotone throughout your entire presentation, people switch off. But if you vary your voice, if you change the emotion, if you change the tempo at which you speak, if you change the volume at which you speak, people tend to be a lot more engaged. It's the same with your expressions. Have happy expressions, have serious ones, have more emotional ones, have a mix of expressions in your presentation to keep your audience fully engaged in what you're saying. If you found these 5 facial expression mistakes interesting, you might want to check out this video where I go through the top 5 most common gesture mistakes. Some real golden nuggets in there, and again, unfortunately, you're probably doing at least one of those mistakes in your presentation right now. So check out that video if you're interested in that, and please subscribe to the channel if you found this video valuable too. I wish you the very best in your next presentation, and make sure you're not making any of those facial expression mistakes.